Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Listen, your cards kind of did their own thing and wanted to come out. I knew Follow Your Dreams was coming out, and I felt it when I was shuffling. And the card peeked at me, and it was almost like, okay, I'll be out in a minute. So we're getting Follow Your Dreams, which is an 85, Compassion, 99, Love Partnership, 26, and Timeout, 37. That's a 1, 4, 9, 8. The Neo Rider Tarot Collection, we have 3 of Pentacles, Strength, Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Swords, King of Cups reversed, Magician reversed. In the Tarot of Sexual Magic, we have the 6 of Cups, 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords, the Sun, Hanged Man, and the King of Pentacles. So you're having to brace yourself right now. Someone very dear to your heart it's pulling at your heartstrings. And for, I know at least three people in particular, it's someone who is departed. There's a fondness there. But for others, it's just, there's a sentiment, okay, from a love partnership, and not necessarily romantic, not at all. It could be family, it could be friend, colleague. So it's almost like what am I waiting for? I mean, you're headed towards following your dreams, right? But if your dreams are pulling you back to, and they're receding to a time much simpler than this, is what I heard when the cards first came out. You know that there's no going backwards. So how do you lighten the load so that you can feel as simply as you did when that person was around? They kind of influenced an ease that took the complication out of situations. It was just something about their presence or them being near you or being in contact with you, that even if it wasn't persistent contact, just knowing that this person existed kind of gave you an awareness of a compassionate calm or some kind of peace. So you're having to take a time out. So you're really going to bring yourself to that point. What they used to provide for you, you have access to, and it's something that you're going to rely on in the month of June. So the cards here that I see for the physical manifestation of this, because this is the energetic, this is kind of what's happening in the auric field on an energy level, a vibratory level. But in the physical, we have the Magician reverse and the King of Cups reverse. And this is that love that I was talking about, this love partnership, or someone who had that, they were that source of compassion for you, or they just had that peace, that placeholder of calm, and just made things easy. There was something about your relationship with this person, and just, they were who they were, and you were able to allow them to be who they were, and you were calm with that, you were confident with that, you were peaceful in that knowing. But they're no longer active, they're no longer available, they're no longer bringing that sense of calm and peace to you. Their existence did, but if they're no longer in your life, or by way of passing and transition, you're having to afford yourself this compassion that they taught you. And you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Strength card and this 3 of Pentacles. This is what the timeout is going to be necessary for, because you're going to have to utilize the pain in order to create what they provided. You're because you were a natural match to their compassion or to the peace that they brought around into your life just by being there. King, it's not a, it's just they had a mastery when it came to compassion, when it came to the type of relationship that you had. They had this security of emotion, that they were very secure in their emotion, what they felt. You knew what they felt without them saying. It was just something very pure, something very untouchable. So now that you don't have physical access to it, there is a sense of pain there. Now, because you're on the other side of that compassion, you have access to it. It's like the polar opposite. The compassion that they used to give you is something that you're in need of now. But they have given it to you before, so you always have access to it. And this is what this Wheel of Fortune, this Mercury retrograde, we have a few retrogrades happening all at once, but you're being asked to turn the page in order to act as if this person is still here. You have to understand that they're not fully gone. They're not fully gone. You always have access to them. You can always rely on what they taught you, even if they were the example of said compassion. You are able to embody the compassion that they gave, and it's like wearing them in you, in your heart space at all times. This is what transforms, where you take the ego from feeling that you lost this possession of this person, that you lost the physical aspect of this person. Being a Capricorn, being an earth sign, sometimes you need to see things, feel things. You have that knowing, you're in understanding that being gone from here doesn't mean you're gone from here. But it always feels nice to know when you can actually use your senses to touch, smell, taste, and see and feel a person. A hug cannot be replaced with a knowing that they're still here. I get it. I understand. Even a possession that they have, or something they gave you, or something you shared, a certain place you ate, there's still that sentiment. And it's an eerie feeling of absence that you're still feeling, and you're still very aware of. You're very, very aware of the gap that they've seemingly left behind. You don't understand that you're to step in that gap. Their proverbial shoes, it was something they were giving you. They displayed it to you and they gave it to you because it was a gift for you to use. It was something that you needed. It wasn't just, in one way, it was them. I mean, they were that kind. They were that giving. They were that generous. They were that calm. They were that peaceful. Even as sometimes in some moments that you were not. They were giving you the ability. They were teaching you the skill. And now it's asking you to use it. They're asking you to use it. Okay? You have hit a brick wall. You have hit some sort of brick wall with this notion. What was the purpose of it? I know, my creator, the universe, I know that my life cannot be this difficult to where I love, this is what makes love so fucking scary. This is why it's so difficult to open the heart to other people in a loving partnership, in a loving relationship, in a romantic sense even, because people that you love so very deeply, they're not here. And if you love someone with that type of depth and that type of devotion, it's almost as if you can quantify that it will reoccur. That, well, me getting close to anyone and loving them like that, I feel a sense of ownership. I feel a sense of responsibility. And if they are gone, if these next loving partnerships that I encounter dissipate like this one has, and this one was pure and it's in the flesh, and now it is not. The hang up is, how can I do that again? because I know what that feels like. But understand, this is not your heart. This is your mind on how your heart feels. This is your mind deciding, this hurts more than anything. This hurts to this effect, this degree. This hurts to this amount. You're quantifying a pain, but it's mental. Okay, so this has the mind caught in suspension because your thoughts have become a thing. Your thoughts have put you in an emotional limbo, in a just, you're floating. You're just floating. You really have no firm grasp on how mental a physical loss has become. So much so that it affects you emotionally. You have the sun here. And this is shining light on where you are and where you're going. There's still a sense of confusion because it's still going to, you're still detaching from, I feel, this here. You're still going to be detaching from the thought of loss and understand that you've gained something, okay? It's going to take a minute. You're really pondering on this. These are not completely different energies. They're kind of similar in this respect because you're still in separation from reality and supposing like this was supposed to go in a certain way. This is what we planned. This is how it should have been. If they were still here today, XYZ. You're still detaching thought from loss to what you've actually gained from the situation. And I see that because there is a pentacle in this card, though this is a swords card. So you have to understand, from the way that this person is sitting, they cannot see anything. They cannot see the beauty. They cannot see the gift that is sitting on the other side of that window right in front of their face. They're kind of in this energy still from this point of view. From her point of view, she would be able to see the plentiful, the fruit basket and things like this. This person, they can't see it. Their back is turned. So this is like kind of trying to bring you out of that energy. And here, I like this depiction of the Eight of Swords because it's still kind of giving me a being of two minds, wanting to attempt to love and have compassion on this level. Once again, though this person is not available for that, and specifically, you still have the ability to do it, to use it, because you have very distinct memory. It is etched in your brain how to love in this capacity and love in this way. And your own archetype is rearing its ugly head to control and stifle the ability that you have to free your mind and your mental space. Saturn is in prison with all those rings around him. That is a sense of bondage. So I need you to understand this is a mental thing more than it is physical, more than it is emotional. Energetically, you're having to take a time out from your own nature in order to understand your trap and your hang up is of the mind. It's not of a physical nature. It's holding back your energetic ability. It's holding back your progression forward, actually. So you have very positive reinforcement here to help you, and it takes you to make up your mind and use it. You won't be flexing your physical muscles, but your spiritual ones.